Welcome back to part 2 of Trucking TV's Driver's Day 4 with recovery driver Stuart Tydeman aboard his 26-tonne Scania wrecker for the day. We're on our way to Norwich to pick up a vehicle with a busted clutch. But before we get there, I want to ask Stuart how he deals with accidents involving serious injuries or deaths.
That must be pretty upsetting sometimes when you have to do accidents with major injuries and fatalities. That must make you, well, must upset you.
You make the hair stand up my arms, yeah. Yeah. Well, you do have to treat it as a job. It is just a job. There was, otherwise it'll wear you up inside. You do, you don't get me wrong, I still remember them all. I can tell you every one I've ever been to where somebody has unfortunately died, but you have to switch off when you're on the scene. And I mean, my way is taking the mickey out of it. I know it sounds wrong, but laughter is my medicine, so to speak. When it comes down to that, they always stick in your head. You can drive past the same, the actual site where you picked it up from, or where the crash happened, and you still remember it. You still think about it. It's just one of them days where you go home and you give everybody a big hug. You do have to take that. I mean, it does. There's a lot of people that does eat up, and they do give up the job because of it. So, I mean, if you take it home, it ends up eating you up even more, doesn't it?
But now you're relieved you don't have to do it mostly.
That is a big part of it. That we are quite lucky not to have to do that anymore. Not just that, but they stayed in your yard for a good 6 months while they did the investigation, if not longer. Yeah. So.
The truck we're after is at a large recycling centre run by EMR, European Metal Recycling, at Lenwade, a few miles northwest of Norwich. They regularly move scrap materials to Felixstowe amongst other destinations. After a brief chat with the truck's driver, Stuart heads off to the office to make sure he knows exactly what has to be done. It turns out that the truck wasn't weighed on Friday, so he has to get it onto the weighbridge before leaving, and the load weight may have to be adjusted to ensure that the load is legal and that the invoiced weight for the scrap is correct.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, excellent. Okay.
Just back up a wee bit. It's just by the U-box. What about that? Seems like that. I can't believe what that. Excellent. Half the world.
So you're hitched on?
Near as good at.
Wow. a bit low.
Cleaned it under here.
The funny business I do.
You're not going to win any prizes at Truck Fest like this.
I cleaned this the day before it come out.
What, the factory? Mission of that, didn't I?
That's a good job.
Me and my slender physique here trying to get underneath. We did what they call a pre-lift to be able to put it on blocks, so that you could slide your forks underneath and to be able to put them in place on the axle. So and then we've also chained it from either side, from outside the U-bolts and then inside the U-bolts, so then in effect it can't move either way. Then we've put a ratchet strap between the two. I mean, some people do, some people don't. I like to just to pull the chains together in effect. I mean, they'd be plenty tight enough anyway. You've got a hell of a lot of travel for an axle to move before it'll come out the forks. Right. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's 12 years of recovery and I haven't lost one yet, touch wood. Every day's a work in progress, so we're now going to take the half shaft out to be able so the gearbox doesn't wind up. I know they're quite snagging anyway, but with no oil going around in the gearbox, you can soon blitz one of them. So we're going to take the half shaft out, put a cap on it. Also, because it's probably automatic, they run the same gearbox as a Volvo, to which they ask you to take both half shafts out or the prop off, because it's loaded and I ain't the smallest person in the world. I'm not going to get under between them two axles to take the prop off. So we'll take one shaft out and we'll tie the prop shaft up so it physically can't turn as we're going down the road. And then we'll also hook into the trailer. So we've got trailer brakes and lights, and hopefully, touch wood, we'll have some fun and games putting you on the weighbridge.
Look out now for part 3 of this day out with driver Stuart Tydeman. And remember, you can find all our videos on our YouTube channel. Search for Trucking TV.